Guys, there is nobody in this industry that has won more for you this month in football than yours truly. I am absolutely on fire. In fact, today I am going for football winner number 14 out of 16. Hell, I'm going for winning day number 13 out of 15. And I've got my seventh straight top rated 15 dime release on the Cowboys and the Giants. And once again, it's going to be the half price play of the day. But maybe today is a day that you should think about taking the day off and simply not betting. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, General Manager at DeMarcoSports.com. And first, let me say to you all, Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy it with your family and friends. Eat as much as you want. You can worry about that diet tomorrow or next week. But listen, and I'm being serious, there are 364 other days that you can make or lose money. 364 other betting days. But today, if it is going to be a day where whether you win or lose, it's going to affect the way you act among your family and friends, then simply don't bet. I know, guys, I was one of you. Listen, and I know probably over 50% of you, if you lose or you win the outcome of one of today's games, it's going to affect you. And again, I was one of you. Listen, 23 years ago, I created these sites. But there was a time 25, 26 years ago, I used to work for some clown who was like $750,000 in arrears with his taxes. He was always in debt. And on Thanksgiving, it was so important for him to win his games on Thanksgiving. Because if you won on Thanksgiving on a Thursday, it set the tone for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, how much money you would make. And if one of the games lost on Thanksgiving, he would inevitably call me because I was like second in command. I ran his marketing and advertising, and he'd be bitching, he'd be moaning, he'd be crying if one of the games lost, and it would affect me. Even though I wasn't in debt to the IRS, I didn't owe hundreds of thousands on my mortgage. I was great shape, but it would affect me and it would affect my family dynamic. And it dawned on me, why? Why was I letting somebody else affect me? Why was I letting the outcome of games that I wasn't even personally betting on affect me? And in retrospect, when I think about it, 28 years ago on a Thanksgiving, I drove up from Atlanta where I used to live with my wife and my son. My son was only a couple years old. Got there on a Thanksgiving because I had to work that morning, getting my plays at that time in the 900 service, getting them online. I was beat, didn't go to Thanksgiving dinner that night with my wife at her parents' house. And the next morning, my father in law had to get in the hospital and he died the very next night. So, that was eye-opening experience. And it made me realize right then that this is fun and games. You can bet 364 other days in the year. Don't let it affect you on Thanksgiving. And now, as the years have gone by, and I've gotten significantly older, and I don't have my father-in-law. My mother-in-law is dead from MS. My sister-in-law is dead from a very rare sarcoma. My father's dead from sinus cancer. My mother doesn't even remember who I am half the time because she's got cancer and dementia. And hell, I'm dying of leukemia. Yeah, so again, let me just say, I've got another, I think, good winner today. But again, there are 364 other days to bet. So maybe take a pass. There's tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. So I wish you well. Maybe you want to turn off the rest of the report. The choice is yours, but you've been warned. So good luck, everybody. So let's get to it. I've got a complimentary play coming up here. In terms of the free plays, 64 and 45 over the past 33 weeks, going back a couple of seasons in the NFL after hitting 2 out of 3 last Sunday, with the best play, of course, being the Denver Broncos over the Raiders. And my top play today is going to be the late game between the Packers and the Dolphins. I'm also going to take a look at the game between the Lions and Chicago, which probably surprises you because I've absolutely owned the Detroit Lions this season. No, my best bet is actually going to be the game between the Cowboys and the Giants. Yes, it is wait for it, turkey of a game. Da-da. But every game is a 50-50 betting proposition, and I think this is the best bet on today's card. And again, I'm going for football winner number 14 out of 16. and number 5 in a row in the NFL. And this is a normal top rated 15 dime release, number 7 in a row. And I'm going for winning day number 13 out of 15. And just like all the previous winners, it's going to be the half price play of the day using coupon code HALF, HALF. Just as big as the Ravens on Monday night, just as big as Buffalo over Kent on Tuesday night. And by the way, guys, you know I'm hot. When I went 3-0 the past 2 weeks in Mid-American Conference play, and I hate that effing conference. And I won all 3 games easily. I may never have another Mid-American Conference game in my life before I retire. Because after going 3-0, that's it. But anyway, that's the play. Cowboys and Giants. And again, half price, football winner number 14 out of 16 and 5th straight in the NFL. With that being said, let's get going here and take a look now at your complimentary play between the Packers and the Dolphins. The thing that I look at this game, the biggest factor is going to be the weather. Listen, I am constantly checking the Weather Channel hourly forecasts, and it comes into play here and significant. At kickoff time tonight, at 8:20 Eastern Time at Lambeau, you're looking at a temperature that's going to be around 27 to 29 degrees, and it's going to fall by a couple of degrees throughout the game. But the more important number is the wind chill. It's going to be between 15 and 17 degrees during this game. Yeah. Warm weather team from Miami going to Green Bay. So let me give you the numbers. We already heard of it. Tua likes to talk about the narrative involving the Dolphins. It's always going to be a narrative until you change the narrative because that's the storyline that's most important. And the fact is this. Tua is 0-7 in his career in games under 40 degrees. And in those games, 10 interceptions and 7 fumbles. The Dolphins have never, ever won a game since Mike McDaniel took over the team where the temperature has been under 40. It's going to be a hell of a lot colder than 40 tonight. As I told you, the game time kickoff is going to be around 28. Wind chills substantially worse. And, the other thing that I think you have to factor in here is that the Dolphins under Mike McDaniel have never just simply do not respond against teams that have winning records. 0-3 this year against 500 or better teams, losing twice to Buffalo and once to Seattle, and 1-13 lifetime since Mike McDaniel has been head coach. I look at this team and I see the talent that the Dolphins have. They have more talent than when Jimmy Johnson was coach. Let's be honest. They have more talent than when Dave Longstaff was coach. The only guy that coached the Dolphins who had more talent was probably Don Shula. Then they have assembled here from Mike McDaniel. But he doesn't get the job done. He doesn't win. And yes, they have won 3 straight games coming in here, but the Packers have won 6 out of 7. Have they been convincing wins? No. But they've been getting the job done. Does Jordan Love look as good as he did last year at the end of the season? No. But the Packers keep winning. And I think Jordan Love tonight isn't the key to this game. I think it's going to be Josh Jacobs because this is a night where you would think that the Packers are just going to run the ball relentlessly at the middle of that Dolphins defense. And Josh Jacobs is number 3 in the NFL in running the ball. He's averaging a little over 4.3 yards per carry. He's closing in on 1,000 yards. He's been everything and more healthy, including healthy, than Aaron Jones was. And I think that they're going to give him the ball 25 times tonight. And why wouldn't you? And this line is exceptionally priced at 3.5. So you know what I'm going to say next. Buy down that half point on Green Bay, and that's going to be your top play. FYI, subscribe to the channel because I can tell you right now, it's the easiest way to find out when I'm going to have another video report. And it looks like because of the next couple of days, I will be here sometime on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with video reports as well. Can't tell you when, but you'll know if you subscribe. You can do so by clicking that little button down there in the corner. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the early game between the Lions and Chicago. You know, I had the Lions last week as my best bet. I am 4-0-1, all major releases involving the Lions this season. But I'm just a little worried about the Lions today. Yes, I know the Lions are so much better than Chicago. But I'll give you an example. Last night I was handicapping the NBA on Friday. The Cleveland Cavaliers should have beat the hell out of the Atlanta Hawks. What happened there? Sometimes as a handicapper, as a gambler, you get that feeling that when something looks too easy, it isn't, and it comes to be that it wasn't. And this is one of those games. And if the Lions win by 40 today, I'm not going to sit there later in the day going, damn, I wish I had the Lions. I just don't feel confident laying 9.5 points with Detroit today. Yes, Chicago has played a little better, but the fact is Chicago's lost 5 straight and gone 1-4 against the spread in that stretch. And the Bears defense is nothing to write home about. I do wonder if the Lions might get caught looking ahead to what next week they play the Packers. And they have lost 7 straight on Thanksgiving. Now that might be a motivating rallying cry for Detroit today. There's a lot of reasons. And by the way, they play at home against Green Bay next Thursday. They have scored 40 straight points, 40 plus points in 3 straight home games. And again, they've made me a lot of money this year. So I was thinking about this game. Maybe the best way to play this is to play Detroit in a teaser. 2-team, 7-point teaser, taking Detroit down to 2.5 because this line has dropped from 10 to 9.5. So I'm getting Detroit at under a field goal. Now, total disclosure, at 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time here on Thanksgiving, I have not fully handicapped the Friday, Saturday, or Sunday card. So just at first glance, let's just talk about a couple of games that offer potential to hook Detroit with. In the NFL, maybe the Bills, taking them down to pick 'em against the 49ers. Seems awfully tantalizing, correct? I thought about maybe the Broncos plus 1.5 at home against the Browns, but that's generally not how I like to play a teaser. I would rather take the favorite down to virtual pick 'em under 3 to pick 'em rather than take a team and make them a dog. It's just me, but that's how I look at it. Maybe hook 'em up with a college team. I could take Notre Dame down to a 0.5 point against USC. Now, you know Notre Dame was just my 3rd straight 39 ultra rare release winner on Saturday, kicking Army's ass. Do I think the Irish are going to have a little bit of a letdown? Maybe a little, but it's USC. And the Trojans, even though they just came off the win against UCLA on the road, needed 10 fourth-quarter points to secure that win and cover. They're still not any good. I think Notre Dame's going to win. Now I'm just saying just win straight up. Another game, little dicier, but SMU has been on a roll, has not been covering, but I could take SMU down to 6.5 at home against Cal. I could take Oregon down to 11.5 at home against Washington. I could take UNLV to 10.5 at home against Nevada. So I think, again, those are all tantalizing possibilities. I have not handicapped the entire card, but I wanted to throw them out there. Probably at first glance, I'm just saying, at first glance, I would consider probably, if you wanted to do an NFL teaser, putting the Lions in with the Bills. If you wanted to do a mix and do the Lions with a college team because you're impatient and you can't wait till Sunday, and I get it, been there, I understand. Then perhaps I would do the Lions and hook them up with Notre Dame. Maybe SMU would be my second favorite play among those college possibilities I gave you. So that's it. That's your Thanksgiving Day report. Again, I wish you well, guys. And, what the hell, eat as much as you want. It's Thanksgiving. Again, worry about the diet 3 or 4 weeks from now. Good luck, everybody, and take it easy, and we'll talk to you again sometime on Friday. See you later, guys.